28. You're with Charlie and Andrew.
And we are very pleased. The hype is real. The energy is real because we are joined in studio, finally, by Te Rautini.
It is New Zealand Music Month, and all of this month we have been joined every Friday, 5 o'clock, by some of the best Christian artists that Aotearoa has to offer, and so excited to be joined in studio by Te Rautini today. Woo! Yeah, guys, hello, you're here. They've got voices, there we go.
Kia ora koutou. Ka tika me mihi atu ki tō tātou atua. Nāna ngā mea katoa I hanga, ko ia te timatanga me te mutunga o ngā mea katoa. A ka huru kia koutou a Life FM, tēnei te mihi nui kia koutou. Mō tō manaakitanga, mō te huakina I o koutou tātou, kia mātou te whānau o Te Rautini. Kia koutou hoki te hunga whakarongo, ko te tumanako ka riri pai e nei waiata, e nei kōrero kia koutou. Tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora, good to be here with you guys.
Hang on, we'll just make sure that people can hear you at home. There
Yes,
you go.
Kia ora, good to be with you guys, and you guys, you're all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
Oh, look, it's been such a pleasure. Look, people should know that you guys got here about like an hour early to go through your whole set and to get like really ready to go and like just in the zone for the whole thing. When you guys are preparing for any performance, like is that like what's that preparation about for you? Is it it's about the spiritual dimension to it and the musicality? Like what's on your mind?
It's probably both. Yeah, so, wanting to make sure that we know enough about what we're doing so that we don't stuff it up completely, but then also wanting to remember about what we're doing. And when we remember what we're doing, this becomes a privilege, not a performance, and opportunity for us just to worship, to pray over our nation, and because we believe that with all of our music and all that we're trying to do, we're trying to prophesy a different day. And so it's special to be here with you guys to worship and believe for that with you guys.
Well, it's beautiful for us to have you here as well, because I guess your journey has been something that we've been able to see develop through the years as well, but maybe for people who've only discovered you in the last, say, few months or so. Can you tell us a little bit about the mission as well behind Te Rautini and part of what's brought you here today?
Sure. So a big part of what Te Rautini is trying to do is to, explore what a faith that is rooted in the soil of land looks like. And we're trying to explore and dive into, history, the good parts, the bad, what has colonization done to Jesus in the eyes of many. And we're hoping to both reclaim a cultural reality of Christ, and also, speak into a different day where people that come to faith, they end up alive in their cultural self, not wearing the culture of someone else.
And so, have you felt like there has been progress made in the last little while? Like, what does that look like for you? What are you seeing when you have a mission like that to tell you, yeah, we're making progress, or no, these are things that we still need to see happen?
I think there's... Oh, are we there? Can you hear me? Yeah. There is progress. Slow progress.
Yep.
It's sort of encouraging and daunting at once, Yeah. I think...
I think in part of it, it's just, one, it's seeing people engage with history and story. Two, it's seeing people grow less reactionary to things Māori. Three, it's wanting for people to start looking at who God is in the midst of cultures, as opposed to viewing cultures as this demonic thing that needs rescuing, viewing culture as something that God has breathed and needs light shining on it, And so that's a big part of the story,
That's beautiful. Well, look, I know you've got some amazing songs prepared for us, so I think I've probably done enough talking already. So I'm just going to hand it over to you, and this is going to be the first song. What's the first song you're going to sing for us?
First song is Tainui.
It's Tainui. Ladies and gentlemen, Te Rautini.
Mai, te hai
tā whangane mātou manawa mai ki te whenua e papa whakapono tonu kia whakapono tonu kia e tai nui e tai ora e tai aroha e tai wairua e tai nui e tai ora e tai aroha e tai wairua Mauri mai Mauri mai te haiata e tā whanganei mātou manawa mai ki te whenua e papa whakapono tonu kia whakapono tonu kia e tai nui e tai ora e tai aroha e tai wairua e tai nui e tai ora e tai aroha e tai wairua
We keep believing we're still in hope. We believe without seeing, but now we see it. We keep believing. We're still in hope. We believe without seeing, but now we see it. We keep believing.
We're still in hope.
We're still in hope. We believe without seeing.
Oh, now
Now we see
we keep believing. We're still in hope. We're still in hope. We believe without seeing. But now we see it. Whakapono tonu kia whakapono tonu kia
Paiwairua, Painui, Paiora, Paiaroha, Paiwairua.
Life FM exists to inspire you in your faith, encourage you through each day, and of course, to play the best Christian music from Aotearoa and around the world. We love to hear what God has been doing in your life through this radio station. Tell us what Life FM means to you. Text the studio at Life.
That was amazing.
Cool.
Your guitar could come up a bit in the mix
Okay.
on the broadcast, but probably just need that mic pulled down a bit.
Oh, yeah. It's just I'm using the same mic for vocals and guitar, so I'm sort of trying to strike a balance.
Vocals
You might
sound
just
great,
strum a bit harder.
because it's going through compressors as well.
Yeah, okay. So it needs
you
a bit
kind
of...
of lose that top end of it.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. Okay, see what I can do.
Well, we should say hello to the live stream.
Oh yeah, the live
Kia ora,
stream.
live stream
Yeah,
peeps.
yeah. Actually, I can see you through all of these.
I think that's the name, like group shot camera.
So, live stream,
Maybe all
show
that.
some love for Te Rautini. And if you have questions as well, we put them in the chat and we will ask them if we can as well. I actually don't know where to look now as well. It's throwing me up.
Just look at all of them. Just
Is this
circles.
one here?
Yeah, just sit on the middle and spin.
Yeah,
Is
do
that one?
people see through this one?
That one's plugged in.
No, no.
But there are a lot of That should be one of the Facebook reactions.
Yes. Very.
Yeah.
How you guys feeling now? You happy? Like, that sounded pretty good to me, but...
Yep.
Oh, thanks, bro.
All good, man.
Is it normal for music to just play through, well, like when we're talking and stuff? through these?
Yeah. Can you hear?
Well, like this kind of stuff
Music?
that's playing right now.
Not when we're singing.
When we were
But
talking?
like that was going
Yeah.
on when we were like in the corridor like segment.
Do you mean your songs?
Nah,
No,
yeah.
no, when we were speaking earlier.
And that's why
Just the
I didn't know
background
when to
music.
start
Yeah,
the Mickey
just
Mouse
roll.
show.
Is it your songs?
Yeah, they were our songs, just
Oh,
rolling
that
in the
was me.
background. Oh yeah,
That
sweet.
was just for content.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, are we able to like not get them in the headphones?
No, we just won't play anything
I
else.
think just not play
Yeah,
them.
yeah, we just won't play a
I
bit
was
or
just putting
anything.
them in at the beginning for people listening.
For fun. Oh, okay.
All right, just take your headphones off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did the whole time, really, pretty much.
Sorry.
But all good.
Yeah, that was just people listening in the car so they could, you know, in the background hear some songs that they would know from you guys.
Yeah,
and
yeah. No, that's all good.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
good. As you were.
Okay, I'll save that, we'll
What?
save that one up.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah.
People are watching.
What are they
People are watching.
saying? What?
Oh, no, no,
guys-
it's
Oh,
just that
just
they're
watching.
watching. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's all.
So can they hear
I
us?
got a record for my
Yeah.
shares in an hour.
Oh,
That's really
sweet.
cool.
I think we got like 70 last week. But not 42 this
42 in the first 15 minutes ain't not bad.
Yeah, Hayden was
Wow.
bad.
That ain't
Free
not
move.
bad.
Free move.
Wait, is this a gold spot? Where's it coming through from
Crazy
here?
loud
somewhere.
This one's loud.
This one.
So adjust that little knob there, and that will change the volume coming through.
Oh, that's not my one. Oh, there we go.
So whichever one is
There we
connected
go.
up, so yeah, then you can change your volume that way.
Is there any way we can just take the tracks out of the headphones?
Lions.
I just won't play them.
Okay.
We should be,
Yeah.
yeah, we should be alright with this one. Because I don't know what else was.
I might just play it in the first like 30 seconds so people know.
Right.
So you can't play them and they don't come through the headphones.
Well, no, because the headphones you're getting everything that's going live.
Okay.
All right, 5 seconds.
Woo. What's that next one?
Tamarama.
Oh,
Yay.
ta-da.
You are on Life FM and you are in the midst of one of our highly anticipated New Zealand Music Month performances. We're really at the beginning, really, kind of first 15 minutes or so with Te Rautini in studio. So once again, so good to have you guys here.
Kia ora.
What's really cool as well about your mission, and you talked about it a little bit beforehand, but I'd love to expand on that a little bit too, is how when I guess people have traditionally looked at the way churches represent culture, and it has been very much just one way, and that it is so much more enhanced by bringing cultures and things together. I wonder if it would be helpful for people as well who, some do still have that mindset of what church looks like. What does it mean to bring in these cultures, and how do they kind of amplify that message of Christ? Because I think maybe some are just, it's the unknown or something, who knows? So is that something you could speak to?
Yeah, totally. I think, like this song that we're about to sing starts with the word listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really important idea to practice in this kōrero in particular, because I think part of the thing that we really want to lean in is not bringing culture in, but actually going out and sitting and listening and being in amongst the story that is already here. And I think so much of the kōrero in our Western expressions of church has been about bringing the gospel to a place or to a people, but actually God has been there all along. And so what would it look like to go and sit amongst and to go and practice this concept of listening and find out what he's been up to?
And so, I mean, what does that look like practically, though, in terms of, you know, the way we are looking to express our faith now? Does that changes something about not just our Sundays, right, but kind of everything?
Yeah.
That was the eyes between everybody saying, you get that one. No, you get it. No, you're fine. No, it's okay.
Look, I think that there's lots of things. Like, practically, we're not trying to represent every nation and culture on earth on a Sunday morning. We're trying to reflect the soil from which we stand. And the scripture talks about placing people in boundaries with specific locations. It talks about trying to get Israel to a promised land because there were promises literally in a specific location for them. And in the same way that God was trying to get Israel to a land, I believe that God led Māori to New Zealand from which he had specific promises in that land. And unless we engage with the Māori story, we won't see many of those promises come to light. And so our belief is that in the narrow path of cultural integrity, that actually we'll have eyes to see the many. So that culture becomes honoured in our pursuit of the narrow path of learning history, learning story, being present, listening, being engaged in this world. So, yeah. I don't know if that's super practical. But,
I can add a practical note on
go.
it.
Yep.
Learn te reo Māori. And because if we think about what listening actually means, we can't actually listen with ears that we don't have.
Yeah.
And specifically, we can't listen to a language we don't understand and don't have the ability to literally listen for and to engage with. And so that's one really practical way that you can get into the story.
Yeah. And that's really cool. I mean, look, I was speaking for myself here as well, too, that my journey with appreciating te reo and making it more a part of my life as well has been one of those things where you when you're a radio announcer, right, into my mind, right, I'm really, really good with English. Like, I do really well with that. And there's that sense of going, like, do I want to go to kind of step one again and learn, you know, how do I say these things again? And there's that kind of reluctance, right? And you know, no doubt you've probably encountered that before too. So what are some of the ways you've helped people to push through that moment of going, oh, I've got to go back to the beginning, but there's so much richness that you can experience, right?
Yes, Kahurangi has an answer for you right now.
I guess the only way in my mind at the moment is just to make relationship. So I guess it's the most hōhā thing for like any Māori is when we're just asked too many questions without any connection or asking for any type of relationship, because it's within the relationship that all of these, you know, the trust and the learning and all of that stuff. Because like us as Māori, it's like hard for us to articulate what we actually feel, which is so like it's a natural thing for us to be, particularly at our church, because it's just so normal to do mihi, to do karakia, to do waiata in Māori. But then when there's like heaps of questions, it's just like, oh, I don't know how to, like, what do you want? I don't actually know what you want me to say, because it's been our life, or our whole life. So for you to come into that is to like have relationship with me, and there we can like move. And I think that's how we are doing okay as a church, because we have relationship, and we're moving together, and we're making these decisions together. It's not just like one person, but there are many voices from Hokainga, from, you know, everyone. So, yeah. I don't know if that made sense.
No, I love that. Well, I mean, what came to mind when you said that, and what's so beautiful about it, and from what I understand about your mission as well, and is that it's not so much about, you know, when you're trying to get to know somebody and you think, okay, like, what are the 5 rules that, you know, the 5 steps that I have to follow to get to know somebody, or, you know, 10 steps to a great relationship, or 5 ways to whatever. And you go, well, it's more about, you know, if you invest the time around a person, and if anything, it does take a lot of the pressure off, right? Because you're not like, there's not like this massive list of things you have to do, but can you show by your time and your presence and your interests, and you'll kind of pick up the other stuff as you go, right? Like, is that kind of a fair way of looking at that?
Yeah, I think that within it, it's kind of what Kahurangi is suggesting is that relationship, which is, without relationship, it becomes you've got something I want. But with relationship, it goes, you are actually who I want. You know, I want to invest in you, and these things are part of you, not I want this information and this knowledge and this learning, and therefore give it to me. It's kind of recognizing that comes from a deep well. And in order to be privy to any of that, it's time.
I love it. Well, again, we're really privileged to have you spend your time with us here as well. And again, thank you to everyone who's already joined in on the live stream as well. See an amazing number of shares that are already going out there. So I'd encourage you to do that as well if you're watching on the live stream. So make sure as many people see this and experience this as possible. But I want to pass back to you now for your next song with us.
Cool. Tahi. Good fight. Tahi, rua, tore, fa. Listen to the land. Listen to the Spirit. Listen to the breath. Listen to the life we share. Papa Horonuku. Papa Horonuku. Parekereke Tawanate kohu Utaite korehu Oh, see a new generation is home. There's a place for us all to belong. Te ao marama, ao te aroa, oho mai ki te rangi, aroha ki a papa. Te ao marama, te ao marama, ao te aroa, oho mai ki te rangi, aroha ki a papa. We'll sing it for the love, sing it for the years to come, sing it for the trust, sing it for the grace between us, sing it for the love, sing it for the years to come, sing it for the trust,
te rangi, aroha ki a papa. Te ao marama, te ao marama, o te aroa, o te aroa. Oho mai ki te rangi, aroha ki a papa.
Wake up to your light. Wake up to our Father. You are created to shine, to be the brightest of wonders.
This is the dawning of day. This is the earth in restoration. This is the heart of Yahweh, face to face with all creation. Wake up to your light. Wake up to our Father. You are created to shine, to be the brightest of wonders. So come out from the clouds, come out from disappointment. Let all the worry melt away. We are a people full of heaven. We are a people full of heaven. We are a people full of heaven. Te ao marama, o te aroa, o te aroa, oho mai o te aroa, oho mai ki te rangi, aroha ki a papa. Te ao marama, o te aroa, oho mai ki te rangi, aroha ki a papa.
Hi, I'm Di.
Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hey, I'm Malaya.
Did you know Life FM is a listener-supported radio station?
You ever seen you high-fiving on live stream? There's a high five for Jesus.
Nice.
Help me with that G.
I like your little input recorder.
Ready? Sing it.
Hit me with that G.
I can, really, it's just
I
like,
like it. You should do it.
People keep asking about a tour.
Yeah. We'll make sure we talk about that at the next. We'll throw them to the next break.
minutes.
Hey, any fellas want to answer anything?
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Let me put it another way. I'll let you answer questions at the next break.
18.
You got to make the questions a bit easier.
Because
Māori was my first language.
Honestly, it's going to be. I actually wanted it to start more just about the music itself in the next break anyway, because we talked about some of the more cultural aspects.
Fuzzy.
The sound that
Yeah,
you guys
fuzz.
have, and like how you're developing that and finding that, and how it's been shaped, and influences, all that kind of thing. Sorry.
Influences.
Punk rock influences.
Should we say our name?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We can totally do that.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We've done that a couple of times before, where some of them like just stand there like.
Oh, really?
Sorry. I didn't think to do it at the start, but yeah, we can totally.
Yeah, let's do
You guys
that.
are happy to
Let's
talk,
sing
then
our
like
names.
I'm happy to throw it to you.
Plus, there'll be a bunch of people tuning.
not my name.
Jeff.
Plus, it's 5:30, and so there'll be lots of people tuning in on the radio who wouldn't have heard the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Maui tingata.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
This one wants to do a song.
Yeah. Les was like your biggest fan. Like Les one, we've got like 50 comments and about 25 of them are Les one. So like.
Up to you.
Oh, hey.
Yes, sing your name.
How about the merch? Okay, yeah, we'll ask about the merch. Don't you worry.
Merch.
I want your merch.
Oh.
Yeah. This is Rautini merch.
Let's do it, man. Let's make merch.
That's it. Merch store coming up.
Should we do some beanies?
Yeah. It's cold.
It is winter, so
I reckon
appropriate.
beanie glasses.
Beanie glasses.
Beanie goggles.
Balaclavas.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we've got a minute.
Maybe write that one down and then you can come back to it later and be like,
I thought that was a straight into the final. Take to the final.
You're in those companies
you
that like
demonstrate.
print it and post it out.
What?
And then you
Oh,
write
say
it
our
down.
names.
You start.
Me?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh,
Good
whakama.
No,
oh,
bro,
we're going
you
this
will
way around?
start.
Okay, yep, cool.
I don't know what to say.
You will say your name.
Yep, so back it out. We'll just say who we are, what we're doing.
Ko te rangi tuku ingoa easy.
2 seconds.
Easy.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Fingers.
we won't took too long again.
Mohi o
Like
koe,
2-3
boy.
minutes or something, and then we'll just get straight to the next one.
Just say it.
Boy.
Oh, there's another question.
Did I know?
Hey.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Ara mai tētahi āhua.
We'll just do names and then Cud will answer any questions.
Question
after.
on the-
Yeah, nice.
All Christians after that.
A listener-supported radio station.
You're on Life FM. It is New Zealand Music Month, and we are celebrating today with Te Rautini in the studio with us. And we thought if you just tuned in as well, remember you can go to the Life FM Facebook page right now if you want to watch the whole thing live. And we've got questions that have come through, which we are going to ask next. But we thought we'd better start off by actually doing a round of intros. So starting with, oh, look at this, pass the ball backwards and forwards. Who's going first?
Yeah,
Oh, kia ora, my name's Te Rangi.
Kia ora, my name's Easy.
Kia ora, my name is Puhi.
Kia ora. My name's Aaron Boyens.
You just chopped
Thanks for
off
cutting out the
someone.
guitar player. Wow.
Yeah.
My name is Fozzie.
Tēnā tātou ko kahurangi he tā tōku ingoa.
Kia ora, Aaron.
Sure.
So that's Te Rautini, everybody. So I've got questions that have been coming through. So I think the number one thing that has come through like about 9 times is tour dates, where you guys are performing next.
Wow.
What is the plan for y'all?
Kahurangi?
There is no tour planned, primarily because there's been no invitation. So if there's a tour that requires an invitation, then we'll consider it.
So how do people get in touch with you guys at the moment, though? Like if they are looking to make bookings or anything like that, what's the place to start? What do they do?
They go on Facebook.
They go on Facebook.
They go on Facebook.
Or Instagram. Or email.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
What is email?
So now you know. If you're listening right now, you want Te Rautini to come to you. That's how to do it.
Cool, yeah.
So, look, I wanted to talk as well about just the sound that you guys have and how you are continuing to develop that as well. And again, we'll bring in the rest of the band as well on this one too. But like how, are there influences that you've drawn from, or how did you kind of come to where you are? And is there a sound you're looking to develop? What are you guys been into previously that's informed like how you sound now?
What are we informed by?
What are you influenced by? Maybe that's a better way to say it.
I think we're all influenced by different things, which maybe is what kind of crafts our sound. So we all kind of bring in different stuff, some reggae, some rock. I used to play in bad punk bands. Heaps of different stuff, really.
Actually, Fozzie, somebody's asked on the live stream if you are influenced by 660 at all.
Yep.
Love it. Yep. I would just
Yep.
Also a little shout out to Cindy Ruakere
Yeah.
and Edge Kingsland, who I think were really important in Aotearoa for promoting. Hey, we don't actually have to be worse versions of everything else. We can say something unique. So yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, guys, we need to keep things moving because your songs are incredible and I don't want to run out of time. So I'm just going to pass back to you for song number 3.
You're there in the light and in the dark. Your open arms never withdrawn. And you say, come. Humbly I come, oh, down pulls me deep. You know how I feel, yet you reach out for me. With no pause, just pure belief, no pause. Just pure belief. And you say, come, come. And you say, come, come. Hide am I, hide am I, oh, hide am I, hey, hide am I, oh, hide am I, and dip your feet, and dip your feet into the water, dip your feet into the water, you'll find me there. I'm the voice in the night, the outstretched hand. So dip your feet into the water, dip your feet into the water, into the water. Dip your feet into, dip your feet into water. Dip your feet into, dip your feet into water. Dip your feet into,
Dip your feet into the water. Dip your feet into. Dip your feet into. Dip your feet into the water. Dip your feet. Dip your feet into the water. Dip your feet into the water. You'll find me there. I'm the voice in your night. Outstretched hand, dip your feet. Dip your feet into the water. Dip your feet into the water. You'll find me there. I'm the voice. I'm the voice in the night. The outstretched hand. So dip your feet into the water. Dip your feet into the water.
Live album.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Ah.
Yeah. That
Lovely.
is the plan.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. There you go.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Oh yeah, great.
Hi, Yata.
Yeah, get in there.
I started song and I just stopped it.
Ah.
I'm gonna check the rest.
Oh, I really like that
Classic
bit.
performance thing, though, right? Like, you know everything you did wrong, and everyone else is just like, oh,
That was
a bold
amazing.
move.
Seamless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, seamless.
Okay, how long do you guys need for your last songs? I just want to make sure we time things out properly for you as well. Is it about
4 to 5 minutes.
45?
Shortest
Sure.
one.
Okay,
Is it?
alright,
Yeah.
alright, no
Are
problem.
you sure we
Maybe
be
not as
doubling
short
it
as
though?
Peter.
Yeah, it's still short though.
Yeah,
short.
yeah, it is short.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to be 2 of a second.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just more a matter of like, you know.
I play the music all the time.
Yeah. Cool.
Hi Anna.
Thank you guys.
I can do a solo if you want.
Yeah, we do one.
If you've got to make up time, I
Crumping?
can do like a crumping.
Yeah.
solo, yeah.
Crumping is kind of lost on radio.
No, but
really-
he makes noises when he does it.
You just keep breathing.
Actually, you know what? It's probably the perfect time because we are live streaming it. So like,
Yeah,
So
go.
now you can talk people through it. I'm popping my chest, now my arms, switching my head around, switching my hat.
I can't
it's a job
dance.
with like somebody providing commentary for like dance and paddles.
Oh my
That would be
gosh.
For those of you tuning in on the radio,
Yeah,
see
yeah.
right now.
He is,
Yeah.
he is lit.
He's busting a move. No, I'm told we don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, no, never mind.
I'm told we don't say that.
Spinny poppy mess.
Influenced by sex.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there's another one you can ask if there's another album in the works.
Sold out.
Well, there you go.
Logan.
Let's talk about that.
Another
Oh
album
no,
on
no,
the
just
way.
asked about an album being in the works.
Yeah, I've got a solo.
What about an album? What about a radio thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are actually probably more of a challenge for us, I think.
Yeah, I bet they are.
It's that fine
The
line
time,
of authenticity and crafting something.
It's,
for everyone.
it's really hard for any worship band.
Did I get in the building?
Yeah.
No, do you know
Yeah,
my
potentially. It's something we need to think about.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Cute, eh?
Yeah, that's really cute.
No, that's
Yeah.
a lie. Pressure.
Yeah,
Pressure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I would
'cause-
like more ceremony.
I do.
yeah, yeah,
playlist,
yeah,
so-
yeah. No, it's something we need to consider.
You're fine.
I know, I felt so bad chopping anyway, but...
Isn't Ta Te Mano
wonder.
coming out tonight from the House of Misfits?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Ta Te Mano.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Eh?
Have you heard of them? House of Misfits?
I've heard of them. I've never
You should get them
Yeah,
in.
they've got a they'll be choice.
Okay, I think that one. Look at it.
They're a big mix of Malian, Polynesian sort of.
Amazing.
from come out of Equippers, but there's lots of people from different places.
We're around the place too, eh?
Yeah, they're legit.
We can turn on this.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
You know that Aro is with them.
Yeah, yeah, Charles and them.
Are they part of that?
Yeah.
I didn't realise.
Yeah, in a big
that.
way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have 5 seconds.
You're on Life FM. It is New Zealand Music Month. And please, if you haven't come along to our Facebook page yet to tune into the live stream of Te Rautini, then this is like your last 10 minutes or so to do it. And guys, it's been incredible already having you in studio with us. And a lot of people want to know when they're going to get new music from you as well. So just so you know, guys, I asked them about this as well. So we're all in on them together. Maybe we get what we want.
When, we don't really know. But however, we are definitely working on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of talking about maybe like a live album would be amazing, right? So I'll just commit you to that now on air, live in front of everyone. Is that all right?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how does that, like, we did talk a little bit about this as well, like between songs, so for everyone who's just tuning in on the radio as well, like trying to capture like a worship experience so that it's like authentic in maybe a studio album or something like that is quite a challenge, right? How do you approach that?
Oh yeah, that is. It's a massive challenge. It helps that we are all friends, and so often we just worship together in the studio, which makes it a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to.
A lot of people actually ask like how we do it because they assume that we like go in one at a time,
track by track.
Yeah, track by track, but we just all jam one time.
We just worship together, eh?
Yeah.
And hope it's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not.
When we worship together 700 times until it is all right.
Yeah.
So in terms of like a quote unquote songwriting process, it's not really that. It's like a really organic thing, or is there moments when different people will bring ideas for either lyrics or for riffs and things that you can use, or how does it work?
So in regards to songwriting, we're not huge advocates of let's all get together and write a song. Songs usually have a genesis in someone, and then they're sort of brought further into life with a few more, and then as a band we finish them off together. And so that process has generally worked well. For different people who have different strengths, and I always feel like at the end of it, that without everyone's various input, that the song is actually never finished. And so even though it's come out of someone specifically at the start, the different roles and parts that people play, it really does end up being a story that it's meant to be.
And like thinking about another question we've come through as well that maybe connects with that challenges of creating songs as a worship band as well. So we had somebody ask about merch, right? Which is a very flattering thing. Like when people start asking about that, right? But it's kind of, it sits kind of funny, right? When you're like a worship band, you're like going, oh, like I get, it's like flattering. Or I don't know. How do you feel about those kind of things?
Look, it's the fine line, eh? And I think some people will be like, that's terrible, you're abusing your privileges, and other people will be like, awesome, it's just other ways of getting the messages out there. And I think in the end, we are accountable to the decisions that we make, and we're not there yet with the merch, and maybe we will one day, maybe we won't, but we've got no beef towards anyone that does, or, I just think each to their own, what their heart's doing with that stuff, so...
Yeah, because like what is, when you're thinking about, I guess in any other environment, you could say, well, you have a plan or a goal or like an objective, like what does success look like to you? And again, it feels a strange question to ask in this kind of context because, we certainly, I think everyone listening feels how kind of missional you are about what you're doing. Yeah. So, how do you make plans or choices for where you want to go and what comes next?
You go very...
See, I hit the easy questions on a Friday evening, right?
I think we write songs out of our community, and I think we write them primarily for our community. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say, but and so we don't really have a goal of we want to tour New Zealand and make this much money. It's just we write songs from stories from the people that are surrounding us. So
one of the bigger goals within it is that we write out of our community, we write for our community, and from that place, because we're not trying to sing every community song, but we're hoping that what we do is provoke communities to dive into the story that's beneath their feet, to delve into their own creativity and explore what God is calling them specifically to do and say. And so the output would be a New Zealand worshiping community that would believe that they have something to say, that they alone can say it better than Bethel or Hillsong or whoever. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, when we lose all our creativity to try and be them, we only lose. And so New Zealand has something to say. And so our hope is that our music provokes the conversation about identity, for all of it. So.
That's amazing. Well, guys, it's been such a privilege having you here, and I kind of wish everyone listening could have been in the studio for this, because it's a whole other level again. But again, hopefully they'll get a chance to worship with you in person sometime soon. So in the meantime, make sure you're following these guys on all their social channels. And again, I just know we're going to see and hear much more of you in future too. So can we have one more song from you, please, before you go?
Life FM HQ to your place. Life FM.
Internal inquiry